All right, so I'd love to address this. And why I would like to address this is because everyone encourages content. And so through the masculine energy and who I am, I've approached this in one way. So today I'm going to approach this in another way. And we're going to be very constructive here today on how we approach this. This gentleman says, not trying to be funny, were you hired to play music? He says where. He clearly meant were you hired to play music? Yes, I was hired to play music. Okay, that answers your first question. And if hired, paid to play music? Yes, but you're not only paying me to play music, you're paying me for the rate that I not only charge to play the music, you're paying me for my presence, you're paying me for my expertise, you're paying me in my ability to understand how to operate the equipment, you're paying me for all the time that I have contributed and put into being the musician and the person that you get at the time of hiring me. So for me, that is again over 25 years. Yes, you are paying me to play music and all the other intangible things that allow me to play said music. Then from there, he says, so the only way for someone to hear songs they want to hear is to pay you again. Here's the thing. Your psychology here on how you approach that sentence is a little illogical. Allow me to explain. First and foremost, you didn't pay me in the first place. So there is no again. So the person who paid me, who is likely a manager, general manager, or someone in that role that calls me for my expertise in my position as a DJ or a musical minister, as I refer to myself as, well, that person has a preference in which they want me to execute. So I'm not being paid, quote unquote, again by a person who wants me to stop what I'm doing for the establishment who's paying me. And then you're, quote unquote, attempting to pay me again. Now, let me provide a disclaimer. In the original video, I did say that we are having non-monetary conversation. For years, if you ask anyone, I don't even take money usually to play records. Even when artists want to pay me to play records, I do not take the money because I don't want to enter into a contract that has not been thoroughly negotiated, meaning that there's some version of terms and conditions that you will apply to this little funky money, and my terms and conditions will be completely different. You might want to pay me $5 for unlimited song requests, whereas my terms and conditions would be $5 for one song when I feel like playing that song. Or I could just think that the $5 you're giving me is a suggestion and a monetary influence to hopefully speed up the suggestion that you have. So that's why I don't like taking money, because it's quite complicated and I'm not for sale. You can't buy me. I am not a DJ, clearly. Don't know the rules, clearly. Acting like that, I wouldn't have gave you anything either. So when you say acting like that, what am I acting like? Am I acting like a person that has over 25 years of musical experience, that has more accumulated experience in my profession than most people you see? Let's say maybe a doctor, let's say maybe a lawyer, let's say someone who makes your food, let's say someone who made your clothes, let's say someone that you engage with every single day, an officer, or anyone that you run in contact in any version of, quote unquote, their professional field or their job. I have more accumulated experience than them. And you're telling me that because I establish healthy professional boundaries, that I don't want people walking up on me that could possibly be drunk, could possibly harm me, could possibly harm my equipment, or from the people who hired me don't want people back behind the other equipment or the setup that they've paid for, and I'm making sure that I honor that. What am I acting like? Because I'm not allowing you to come in and just do what you want to do when you don't do that to any other profession? Oh, okay. Tell me what I'm acting like. And then from there, I'm not looking for your handouts when you say I wouldn't have gave you anything either. Not looking for your handouts. You're not my blessing. So I didn't ask you for nothing. I'm here to do my job. Allow me to do my job. And then lastly, then I guess kind of contradict the first thing you said prior to this and said, appreciate the professionalism, because I was professional. And this gentleman didn't disrespect me. You said, but nah, cuh. And if I hired you, you need to be playing my whole playlist. If you hired me, and if I agreed to work with you, see, that's the thing that you think. You think I'm just out here for hiring, just begging for gigs, and that ain't how that work. In the same way how you look for someone to hire to play the music, I also look at the people that I'm compatible with, that I should be aligned with and working with. So see, it goes both ways. And yes, in the event that we agreed to work with one another and I provided my gift and my accumulated experience in this profession, and we worked together and came to some type of monetary agreement, then yes, we would then move on to some version of a whole playlist or suggestions that you would have that you would like for me to hear, and I would execute those things. And the irony of you making that statement is that's exactly what I'm doing to the establishment that paid me. I'm doing what they are paying me to do and what they've established for me to do. And in the event that I was working for you and you hired me and we, quote unquote, agreed to work together, guess what? I would play and honored what you would want me to play, and I wouldn't let another person come in and knock me off that task on executing what you paid me to do. So now you see how that came full circle? This is the Energizer YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. And sir, thank you for your comment that is now turned into content. Have a great day.